and we are partners with the National Land Service of Finland and their representative Anthony Jaakkola. And we have built a system that we now present here just as a concept. We are using our drone, the AR3000 drone, which is a civil multi-purpose drone which can be used for virtually any purposes that you can. When you want to have some sensor cameras or whatever, here you can use that, and now use that for this mission here. And we used your equipment, a leader, a Velodyne, together with a normal RGB camera. It was a Sony A7, Alpha 7, yeah. And these sort of did the thing, and you can perhaps explain about the result that we got from this.
Yeah. So, as mentioned, we had a LiDAR there. We had some small problems with the positioning because our positioning system crashed. And therefore, these images are georeferenced with the images, which is not the most accurate way to do it. But still, we have some examples here. So this is just a single overpass of the road, and as you can see, you can detect all the trees and the roads, and I think there was a house as well. But because of the problems, I'm not going to go into more details about the point cloud. But if we move on, we did make an ortho photo from the images, the whole road, and you can skip or go through the 4 slides. Here are just the results from the asked locations. So there are the road paintings and also actually here we could stop for a moment, because here's the LiDAR data being used for the snowbank height or elevation determination. So this is a LiDAR profile here, and here's the central one, and that's the snowbank, and the Avartek is 51 centimeters. And the next slide shows the second location, which is 55 centimeters. And then moving on, there's the frozen colors for the visual inspection. But if we then go more into the concept side, this is an example from the VT or the Highway 19 near Seinäjoki, measured with a UAV laser scanning system, and the location was, or the road was 19 kilometers in length, and as mentioned yesterday, a fixed wing is best when used for long spans of road. In the next slide, we'd like to extend the concept to using also mobile laser scanning. So from a car you can get nice views from the facades and next slide please, and also the road markings and poles. So our concept is to use mobile laser scanning for the detailed measurements of the road surface, because you can do that hundreds of kilometers in a day, and then extend that with a UAV for measuring the wider area. And next slide please. And also the mobile is good for measuring the underpasses and tunnels. And next. And the question then is, if we are going to use autonomous flying vehicles, why not use autonomous cars? Because those will be ubiquitous and they can be used also for mapping purposes. So this is our idea of the future. And next slide. And this is our final slide. The National Land Survey of Finland is going to repeat the national laser scanning. And here in the foreground is the level of what the current data is, and on the background is what we are expecting it to be, or even better. So the point density is going to increase from less than 1 point per square meter to maybe 5 points. It's not been decided yet, and we are still discussing with the traffic administration. but this is one part that should be considered in road mapping as well. Thank you.
You were analyzing the large area.
Yeah.
The whole point with the Avartek National Land Survey project was so that there's a hybrid model. I don't know if you already actually said it, but first you scan with a UAV or simultaneously with a car. You scan with the UAV a whole large area. So if you're flying, let's say 150 meters, you get a very, very wide area of the road. So you just don't get the road at the bank, but you get the road and adjacent forest. And then with the car, you scan, you get much more detailed view of all the ruts and the erosion of the road.
And then the idea is just to combine these, then you have all you need as a data.
The forest and the adjacent landscape is not, you don't need a critical map of that area, you need the elevation, so you can calculate the water flow and all that.
Yeah, and although the ditches and culverts are difficult to see from the car, so therefore you need an eye in the sky.
The price of the plane is about 12
How much?
and then depending on which kind of laser scanners you are using, starts from about this one was about 30,000 depending on the quality you want. The price goes usually up.
The software.
The software, what is that? It's included with the...
Yeah, the LiDAR is usually including the price, but the positioning requires, let's say, 15,000 euros worth of software.
I understand there are some limitations when you use the LiDAR. You have this the height and also the speed. Is that?
Yeah, the height with the low-cost LiDAR, which is less than $10,000 here, the measurement range is roughly 100 meters, which is kind of stretching it with, because you don't want to fly a fixed wing at less than 40 meters. and also the point density, I think it's, of course, depending on the application, but as you could see from the road data from the Highway 19, that's, I think it was something like 20 points per square meter, and that's, we can do that with the UAV.
Would it have been better to use a multi-rotor aircraft for the LiDAR?
Of course, if you want very high details, you want to fly low and slow, there you need a multi-rotor. But with a fixed wing, you get much more coverage because you can fly hundreds of kilometers in a single flight. And also with a mobile system, you can go hundreds of kilometers. So depending on your scope, if you're only interested in a few kilometers, then multi-rotor is probably better choice.
Okay. So what would you like to sell to the road administration?
Well, a hybrid system with the understanding that for detailed mapping of bridges or something, then you go for multi-rotors. But if you have long stretches of road, then you need a fixed wing. And you should always combine it with a mobile scanning. And that's basically the concept.
So you have done some work in Highway 19. Have you done it somewhere else?
Not with this system. So of course, we are from the Finnish Geospatial Research Institute, which is a part of the National Land Survey, and we are doing a whole lot of things also with the UAV sensors. But we are mostly focusing on forestry and not that much on roads. So So there are, for example, this snowbox slide here. This is the Sirkka village, and also the roads from Kittilä to Muonio to Kolari have been scanned with also with the UAV LiDAR and mobile scanning. So we have done some of these.
Thank you.